Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You might have heard of something called DMT, otherwise known as dimethyltryptamine, the most powerful psychedelic drug on the planet. When people take this, they report blasting off into another world, one where they are able to communicate with conscious entities. What is actually going on? Are they real? People report that this world feels realer than the real world, so I decided it might be interesting to ask the spirits what the heck is going on, and they had some answers. So this is a slightly different video to my usual one this time, where I normally go to places with my SBox, spirit box, and try to sort of talk to spirits of the dead and things like that. Sometimes I like to use this to sort of ask questions and get answers about mysteries and other sort of odd situations. I've been really interested in something called DMT for a while now. This is a book, it's a bit of a tome as you can see, but it's possibly the best book on the subject you'll find, DMT, the Spirit Molecule by Rick Strassman. And yeah, it's basically tells you everything you need to know about the really weird experiences people are having when they take this. Now, first off, as a disclaimer, I want to say I do not condone drug use. I am not advocating for that at all in this video. But what I am saying is it's interesting to try and just explore what's going on here, because this is no ordinary drug. It's made in the brain, it's found in plants, it's found everywhere in nature. You may have heard of ayahuasca. People go to South America and they have these ayahuasca ceremonies, so there's a long historical tradition of shamanism in sort of native tribes and using this drug as a spiritual tool for deeper spiritual understanding, enlightenment, things like that. So it's not to be messed around with. It's not a recreational drug, but more and more people are traveling to these places where it's legal and having a go. And the weird thing is they're all kind of reporting the same experiences, like they go to the same place and they see the same entities, and the fact that a lot of them report it as being realer than real kind of implies that something's going on here. This is really strange. So yeah, what kind of entities do they see? There are the machine elves. These are like these sort of little people that sort of pop around and try to show you things and show you to like, they can transform. And here's some artwork that people have done, the kind of showing those. There's the jesters. They're apparently not so nice and they kind of laugh at people and help expose their egos. There's the cosmic serpent. Apparently he's quite a chill dude, and yeah, people often experience feelings of love and what's the word? Spiritual enlightenment when they take this, but it can also be dark as well. There's a darker side to it. So yeah, lots of stuff comes up. So I had some questions for the spirits, because is it real? Is it all in people's heads? Is it a hallucination? I think when you add it all together, the fact that everybody who does this kind of reports the same kind of things, the same geometric patterns, the same colours, going to the same kind of places and seeing the same kind of entities, I think that does build a sort of solid case that maybe this isn't purely a hallucination in the brain. Maybe this is a way of accessing some kind of other dimension. So I did a home session with this off camera. I recorded it on the SD card, which I'll play you in a bit. What I did this time, because it's difficult to sort of follow with the SD card when I've asked the questions and when... noisy plane. Yeah, so what I was saying, yeah, so what I was saying, it's difficult to follow along with this without being able to hear the questions I'm asking. So I prepared a series of questions and I asked them timed, sort of once every 10 seconds I would ask a question, and that way it's easier to kind of, when we're in editing, I can put the questions in exactly when I ask them, and you can see how well the answers line up, because the answers do line up pretty incredibly on this. So yeah, I'll play you that now.
sound for the lead. Parked. When I look
So yeah, some really interesting answers there. The first question, when I asked, can spirits from the DMT realm talk to us through this device, it clearly answered never. I thought that was interesting. So what are we talking to through this device? I certainly seem to have had a lot of people claiming to be dead people talking to me through this, so I think it's the spirits of dead humans that we can contact through this. Maybe we can't contact these other entities then. Maybe they are solely in that realm and a different state of consciousness is needed to access that. So maybe it's only spirits that have had a connection to this world that can come through on these devices. I don't know, there's no experts in this. I'm still learning, I'm still figuring this out, and asking the questions is how we get there. But the bit that really interested me was when it said angels. I'd specifically asked what the beings were that were in this realm. And that surprised me because it'd been a few years since I read the book. I hadn't really done a deep dive before doing these questions. And I thought, I've not heard of angels. I was sort of expecting it to say like elves or jesters and all that. And so I thought, So I did a bit of research and I was really surprised when angels actually did come up in the research. Specifically, the sort of biblically accurate angels. We tend to think of them as like the Victorian halo wings, robe, all that kind of thing. But the biblically accurate angels are kind of bonkers, actually. There's like the wheel inside a wheel and all that. And then Ezekiel and the sort of visions he had. Could that have been a DMT trip? Yeah, so that was weird. My phone just cut off telling me I was like out of storage or something. I had no idea that I had been clogging my phone up with all these YouTube videos, but there we go. Deleted a few now. Hopefully I should have enough storage left to finish this, so that was kind of annoying. Apologies for that. Yeah, where was I? Biblically accurate angels and them being a bit bonkers. There's the wheel inside a wheel, and often the DMT realm they talk of geometry and things kind of moving and changing, and so things like that. Could that be a DMT trip that was had back in biblical times and it was interpreted as angels? The word angel comes from the ancient Greek word for messenger. Or some kind of messenger between the sort of spiritual and the human realms. So perhaps the DMT realm is a place where there are guides and there are things that help us. and things like that. There's a place where there are guides and there are things. It's a big mystery, all in all, and I think it opens up a lot of questions for humanity. And maybe we can have a quick session with this now, since this is just a short video. And
SBox.
okay, it's loud. Let's turn that down. Yeah, anything else you can tell us about the DMT realm? Anybody here? Anything? Is it the spirits of dead people that we are talking to through this? Can you explain about the angels? What is meant by that? Why can't they talk through this device? Okay. Quite make it out. Why do you never affect these? Go on. One day they'll go. Okay, I'll leave it for now. Not a lot's coming through. I'll leave that for now. But yeah, this is an interesting one. And I do recommend having a read of this book if you're interested. Yeah, it's a doctor's revolutionary research into the biology of near-death and mystical experiences. So yeah, it's fascinating, I think. And I think there's a lot more to reality than the current scientific paradigm would like to have us believe. And I think if you just dig under the surface, it's there. There's a lot of compelling stuff that's there. And I think, this may be a slightly controversial opinion, but I think scientific evidence isn't the only way to determine what's real. I think the cumulative weight of lots of people having the same experiences, the same profoundly meaningful experiences, that holds weight as well. And I think we shouldn't discount that and just say, oh, it's all, you know, sounds mad, so therefore it can't be real. The whole universe is mad when you think about it. We're on a rock spinning around a giant ball of burning gas. When did that become normal? Anyway, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Love and light to you all. Stay curious. Bye.